We are live with Tell Us
Howdy.
About Yourself with our guest, the ghost of Public Enemy number one, TJ Marconi.
That's the life model decoy of TJ Marconi.
Type
Yes, sir.
model decoy. Yes. Yes.
I gotta tell y'all a little story before we get into this.
Oh.
I was
It's kind
talking
of
to
my thing.
TJ. I was talking to TJ last week, and I was like,
To the ghost of
like
TJ.
yeah, the ghost.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was talking to the ghost, and I was like, this show. I always like to, before we have our guest on, I like to talk about topics and stuff like that.
Oh.
And I was like,
You're well more
TJ,
prepared than I am.
I was like, TJ, we can talk about, like wrestling or back. And as soon as I said backstory, he started saying, well, pickles was invented in. I said, no, TJ, I want to hear about you, not what you like.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I assume it's because of the pickle color of their uniforms.
Oh God, it's forest green. All right, far away from pickle green.
It is cucumbered, pickled, and green. Yeah.
Now you're
So
making me
just-
think of pickles.
Every time you see the Jets,
Oh.
man,
Oh no. Don't
they'll
do
go
that.
they'll go in the end zone and oh well, that story's never gonna happen.
This show is
Oh.
also this show is also brought to you by pickles.
Oh man. All right.
So TJ, to get this thing rolling, or should I say pickled, I wanted to get into like your wrestling career and things like that and whatnot. And I was kind of going with backstory. I was going to ask you, how'd you get into wrestling?
I got into it kind of right after college. My best friend growing up was Sean Maluda. He was just on AEW. He's a part of the Samoan family, Hawaii family. And throughout high school, he was training and I would say, hey, come train. And I was like, no, I can't afford it. And kind of after I got my 2-year degree in college, I was like, I'm not doing anything with it. Let me try this wrestling thing. That was 2009, 2010. Started training in New Jersey with my first trainer, my initial trainer, Andrew Morgan. He goes by Magic in the Northeast. And the rest is history, as they say. I'm 10 years later, and I'm now a ghost.
And what was, some of your inspirations of wanting to get into the company?
Me, like, I always liked wrestling. The day or the show that's like, yep, this is what I'm doing was WrestleMania 11, and the classic match of Diesel versus Shawn Michaels. I watch it back now and I realize how bad it was, but that was the match that I turned to my grandma and I'm like, yeah, I want to do this for a living, and I want to be like that guy Diesel because he's giant and a champion and has two blonde valets, and he's really cool and has pyro, and yeah, that's what I wanted to be a wrestler because of that match.
That's pretty good. I'll cheers to that.
Not the pickle juice.
Oh man.
So, I'm sorry, Jeff. Go
No, you
ahead.
go. No, I
You
was,
go ahead.
I was gonna ask. So, where did you start your training at?
It was in Northern New Jersey. It's a place called the Body Slam Wrestling Organization.
Okay.
It was like an offshoot of Jersey All Pro, which is a kind of big company in the Northeast.
Yep.
Jersey All Pro kind of dissolved, and then the trainers and the people from there went to the BWO school, which was in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, kind of near like Fort Lee, the Teterboro Airport, that North New Jersey area. It was close to where I lived in Staten Island. So I went there because Staten Island got Jersey All Pro on like public access. So I was
Okay.
I was a really big mark for Jersey All Pro. So when I knew that the Jersey All Pro school kind of went there, that's why I went there.
What year around was this?
2009, 2010.
Oh, okay. It's not.
Yeah, like my friend Sean, who
Mhm.
I said like he had his family school WXW up in the Poconos with the Samoans, but it was a big fee to get in there, even with
Yeah.
like the brotherweight.
Oh
And
yeah.
I didn't have that, so like I had to go there. But it wasn't like a downgrade in my mind. It was it was equal footing.
Okay. That's awesome.
Awesome.
You were gonna ask a question, Dustin, when I interrupted you.
Well, I was gonna ask, you who was some like you mentioned Diesel, so I'm guessing he's one of them.
Yeah.
When you think of your character and stuff like that, you're tall. For instance, I first met you last year at Virtual Grand Gathering, or actually at Grand Gathering. I'm
Real
sorry.
one.
Yeah.
And you were supposed to be a surprise, of course. I met you in the hallway, and y'all make fun of me for being D1. He is literally D3. You were tall.
Yeah. I think he
And
modeled D3 after me. I don't know. Should I ask Steve?
Get
but
those royalties in.
but with Diesel, which he's a really good, tall, big boot kind of guy, and there goes with your, competitor gimmick, boots. So I'm guessing that's where it come from, of
Yeah.
course. Is there any others that you got into really watching?
Before I got into the business, I was like every other, I would say, like, fan. It was like, all right, you were trained to like Hulk Hogan, you were trained to like Bret Hart, you were trained to like Stone Cold. After I got in, like, and also where I grew up, I was clearly only WWF. I didn't know. I thought WCW was fake. I remember when my dad would buy me the figures, and it wasn't WWF. I'd be like, "What is this? The generic knockoff?" I didn't know WCW was a thing until like probably like a middle school, high school. It's like, oh yeah, WCW, then Monday Night Wars. But like growing up, I thought it was like knockoff. Like you would get they don't move. The old WCW figures were like this. They didn't move. They just stood there. Where the WWF ones moved. So I thought they were fake wrestlers. I didn't know Ric Flair.
I like the bushwhacker action though, with the
the
moving.
Then you had the Samoans would jump. But after I got into the business, I started looking at guys like Big Boss Man, Bam Bam Bigelow, Terry Gordy, the Undertaker, like big guys who weren't just big guys who can do everything, who can talk and who can move around. And then, like, for my character, recently, like the recent character I'm doing, I got away from wrestling because we're putting on a show, and what people, a lot of wrestlers forget is you're in acting. So I went to characters in movies and actors, and I took a little bit from them and entertainers and molded my own persona off of all that.
Yeah, like kind of like a Sinatra of professional wrestling.
If I have to like put it, it's like take a little bit of Sinatra with Paulie Walnuts and James Gandolfini, a little bit of Chaz Palminteri, throw it in a pot, add a little bit of Kevin Nash and Bam Bam Bigelow, and then you get, it's like a smorgasbord of giant man.
Now, when you decided to, was there any thing that led to you wanting to design this persona as a character from just after you started, or was it just something that just came to you?
The thing happened was, I don't know, like if I can like put it in a nutshell, a very controversial thing happened with me. I did a heel turn at a company, and the people believed that it was real. Like they thought I was really killing these guys, and I didn't say it was a work or say it was an angle. I went with it, and I became like, this guy needs to retire and burn his boots. He's angry. He doesn't belong in the business. So at first I was like, damn, I can't believe that this happened to me. I'm killing my persona, my career. And I was watching Daredevil, and Kingpin comes on. I think it was Kingpin comes on, and he says that Daredevil is now public enemy number one. And I said, boom, that works. Daredevil is public enemy number one. Why don't I take that moniker, since I'm being vilified anyway, and did this heel turn? And like this one company, only one company I really turned the heel. I was a babyface still in a lot of other places. Mm-hmm. But this one company got me a lot of views. A lot of the boys and a lot of the fans
went viral.
It went viral. And if you watch it back, I didn't hurt anybody. I turned heel. I did an angle, and they believed I was killing people. So I ran with that, and I said, all right, if I'm public enemy number one, let me take a little bit of like the mafia movies I like and the bad guys that I like to watch in movies and make my own character. And that's what I did.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like it too, because when you're saying, you're public enemy number one, that puts you in a really, like, for me, I would think that would get your name out a whole lot quicker. This guy is calling him the number one public enemy.
Yeah. And if you watch a movie like the movie called Public Enemies, John Dillinger. He was the first famous Public Enemy #1, where it means all cops and all departments of law enforcement were focused on getting this guy. So it's like, all right, if I'm going to be a heel, might as well be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I mean, obviously the viral sensation of people thinking it was legit trying to murder some people. Which, to be fair, if you watch the video, like, they don't look like they should be in the wrestling ring. So, you know,
that's wrestling nowadays, though, guys. You gotta. Yeah.
Wrestling
like, is for everyone.
I meant Evil Man's like training level.
No, you're 100%. You're 100% accurate, and you're exactly what it was. I had to coach them through basically everything to make sure they didn't get hurt.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, you have to turn your head this way. Don't turn your head that way. You're going to be paralyzed.
Yeah. So you have worked for a few of the indie companies. Any of them stick out, positive or negative?
I mean, like the bigger companies, House of Glory, of course. They're a very big company. I was kind of with Beyond Wrestling when it first started for many years, and now they've blown up.
Oh, yeah.
Locally, I'm probably on every local show. The one that I'm helping out the most and trying to creatively change it is a company called BWF, where I'm taking more of a backstage role and more of the Triple H role, where it's like, all right, I have something, lots of shovels and a lot of sledgehammers, and creating wrestling how I want to see it. Like, if I have a pen and paper per se, I can do it. This is probably gonna. I mean, Shakara is dead anyway, but I was in Shakara underneath a mask for 2 years as Noken. I was a water spirit. I'm not sure. That's what it was pitched. It was part of the BDK. It was pitched to me that I am a giant water spirit. When I took it and basically made Arnold Schwarzenegger meets Kane.
Yeah. And
Shakara was. I don't know if there's still a thing. I'm not going to talk ill of anybody, but like, it was a great time. I learned a lot. It's definitely unique, but you know, I enjoyed my time there.
Pretty sure it's dead because most of the wrestlers that mattered there have jumped ship after what happened. So,
yeah, I was in Shakara as a mixture of Kane and the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
it was fun.
And one thing to say is Chikara has a very extensive alumni.
Yes, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, literally half of them people wouldn't even realize it unless someone like beat them over the head and say, "Hey, you know this guy who held this title in this company?" Yeah,
man, Fire Ant should wear orange. Oh,
I mean, come on, Soldier Ant. But yeah, you got. There's so many of them for that.
Yeah.
But which, I mean, one of the things that they had going for them too was they also had, I mean, a lot of talented wrestlers that went in there and helped train. So I imagine just spending a few years there, just being around them too, probably.
Yes, it definitely opened up my mind, and because it was more of a show. And it definitely helped.
Just like how you're saying about TV shows and things like that, like Chikara was a comic book.
It's not every day that I'm told I'm wrestling an ice cream cone and he's going to melt when I put him in a bear hug. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it was always meant to be a living comic book.
That really happened, by the way. I put an ice cream cone in the bear hug and he melted out of the ring. I won by count out. I mean, it's great.
At some point, you did a stint of back working with WWE as well.
Yeah, I did a couple of extra work stints with there. One notably, I got punched by the now heel Roman Reigns, so I knew it 5 years ago that he was a bastard.
Well, you know,
punched me in the face.
That kind of brings me up with an SRG related question too. So, what hurt worse? Getting Superman punched by Roman Reigns, or finding out that Mike Verna's Superman punch is a stop finish?
55-45 to Roman. It definitely hurt. I was like, wait, what? Oh, okay. How apropos that Mike Verna has a stop finish. That's a Superman punch.
Yeah, and it hit you with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's poetic justice. Yeah,
you can't really.
Now, to get in that little stint with WWE, what was your feeling with that?
I kind of had the fast track going in. I wrestled Tommy Dreamer maybe a month before, and he was like, "Hey man, you're really talented. How come I've never heard of you?" I said, "I don't know." And he goes, "How come you're not here or there or have looked at?" I said, I don't know." He goes, "All right, I'll help you out." About a less than a month later, he goes, "Excuse me, you're booked for this loop and this loop, and show up in a suit." I'm like, "Cool." And I got looked at. They really liked me. To make a long story short, Kevin Owens was kind of on top at that time, and he was on the indie level. Around the time he was on the indie level, I was in a stable and a tag team known as the Crusade for Change with my partner Darius Carter, who, I mean, he's a great person outside of wrestling. Inside of wrestling, he doesn't turn off his gimmick, and he rubs some people the wrong way. So I got remembered for being his partner. So Kevin Owens went to the people who kind of have say there, said, "Hey, XYZ, look out for this guy," and kind of took away what I had coming to me. Yeah, it sucked, but I mean, Kevin Owens can only be on top for so long. Like, I took it kind of took a downward slope my career, but now I'm on the way back up and see what happens.
And Fox, did we have any questions or anything so far?
Well, we do have one from the Phenomenal One. He does want to know what your goals for SRG and wrestling are going forward.
Wrestling, I see I have like maybe 2 to 3 more years of like really active, because I was gonna call it like quits at the end of this year, but COVID. And I'm gonna give it one more really big shot to get somewhere and make a career off of wrestling. There's 2 different products now that are paying big money, and I think I owe it to myself to not stop. I have to creatively come up with something because I'm not comfortable just being another wrestler. I always want to like break the mold or come up with something different and do that. SRG, I mean, I didn't know how to play the game over a year ago. I was in the game, I played a little bit, and now I do it every week. You see me in online events, and I love it. It passes my time. I have a ball with you guys. I enjoy the deck building behind it and playing as different characters, and that aspect is fun to me. Without SRG, my days and nights would be boring. So I'm enjoying that aspect. So SRG, I'm going to keep doing my thing. Now I know how to pass and bury. Maybe I can be world champion. And then wrestling, I think
you could take out a horse.
I mean, I would have been champion, and I didn't know how to pass and bury. Imagine that. But wrestling, 2 to 3 more years of active in ring, and I really want to make like a territory. Like personally, I want to build a territory, like, because I think indies are a thing, but like if you have a territory and that old school vibe of like, hey, locally there's going to be shows here bi-weekly and you follow storylines, and that's the thing that got me into wrestling, with storylines instead of just matches. I want to like build a territory. If that's my legacy, like, hey, I built a territory in the Bronx that the fans go to, then I'm happy.
Yeah, and I mean, even in the modern time, it can be done, because despite all the failings for Chikara, they actually did that. They had their own little territory, their own storytelling for months old, and there is a market for that, even if it's actually traditional pro wrestling rather than weird shit.
Yeah, like a lot, like, to pull the curtain down.
Yeah,
a lot of wrestling is just matches.
Yeah,
and they more like it draws for them. I don't think it draws a lot. There's not a lot of money on independent wrestling, but that's what's marketing now.
Yeah.
I think if done right, and before COVID happened and it was working, I had a little territory going where every match was for a reason and every match had storylines, and we built a fan base, and that's kind of my goal when the world turns to normal again.
So, and this is the point where I should remind people in the chat they can use the raised hand feature if they have a question to ask. Yep, and they can post it in the Zoom group chat, and we will field those questions. So.
And I can also, I'm going to ask these people that are at Twitch or wherever, even on the Zoom. Here's a good question for you, because we were talking to Rage last week. Rage versus Marconi. Who would win?
Hey, obviously I'm
Okay.
tall.
Oh yeah. All right. So.
I think I'm more agile according to SRG card. I'm not really sure. He probably has the same
Yeah.
power, which is bogus.
Yeah. All right. So our first question from the chat will come from Ashley. So she
Hello.
can unmute and ask her question.
Hi, TJ.
Howdy.
My question is, besides being known for the famous boot, what's something that you always want people to remember you by, besides the boot and the pickle?
If I'm a bad guy, I want them to want to come see me get killed. I want to be remembered like if a little kid goes, Dad, I can't wait to see TJ get beat up. Or if I'm a good guy, have someone be like, hey, I want to come watch TJ win. Like I want that, because I remember I would tune in to watch Hulk Hogan fight the next monster. So I want that. Like I want that lasting. If I'm at a show, you leave and you want to see me again. So because the mentality I use on wrestling shows is that it's someone's first time watching me and someone's last time watching me, and I'd rather it be, even if it's the first time them watching me, they want to come back and see me again.
Okay.
Apparently.
Actually, I'll cheers to that.
Yeah. One of the comments.
I'm not looking at the pickles. I'm not looking at.
Wearing a bathrobe in a four-way match, apparently.
What happened?
I don't know. Someone commented wearing a bathrobe in a four-way match.
Yes. So
that was from the Rev.
How did that? I was the champion in this company for a while and had no real competition, so I showed up in a bathrobe because I said I don't need to get dressed, and I won in the bathrobe and slippers.
Well, all right. So we have a question from Mother Lovin' Bobby, Ohio. If he would like to unmute and come on screen.
All right, here we go.
Here he is.
Oh wow! Look at that! Look at that!
I'm going to take a sip of. I'm gonna cheers to that myself with that. It's the pickles, right? I'm gonna tell you something. What makes you think that you're gonna come in here and talk smack after being dead for months? What makes you think you can come back now and talk smack and beat me? Let's do this right now.
Well, I'm not dead anymore. This is the ghost you're talking to.
As
first
he
of all,
eats the pickles.
And I'm not looking at the pickles. I'm looking at the camera, so I don't have to worry about that disgusting eating habit you got going on there, Bobby. I want to prove to the world that boots are better than the belly. That's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't care.
Prove that?
By booting you in said belly, whenever you want. I gave you the contract. I even told the boss. I said, sign.
No, of course. You can't insert boot if belly is flattening said boot.
I mean, you haven't had a size 16 belly in that belly. Size 16 boot
what?
in that belly.
My belly is infinite. My belly is infinite. There is no.
Good Lord, sir. You made me spill my Riesling wine. How dare you? I mean, I'm down to prove that your belly could be stomped out by a boot.
We will see. We will see. I just want to make sure you understood what was going on.
I came back from the dead, and I didn't challenge anyone in the wrestling ring. I challenged you first. That's how important you are to me, my friend.
I love you too. Damn it!
You made me spit up my wine. How dare you? Infinite bellies. Gotta get that checked out. You gotta be able to.
Yeah, I'll cheers to that.
All right. Thank you.
all right.
Anytime. I'm waiting. I mean, there's a virtual grand gathering coming up. I'm waiting. I got a title to win, and then I'm free. So you let me know.
Me too. You act like you're the only one that's busy. I got a title to fight for, and I'm waiting for you and the VGG.
When we don't have to work for titles, we get that. Someone call the GM who's connected to them. Probably can only.
Yeah. You call that painted beard bum and tell him to put the match on the card.
Yeah, right there.
We actually
Belly first
have
boot.
Cannoli in here.
Wow.
I saw his smiling face. Cannoli gets things done when he needs to get them done.
Things are getting heated.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Infinite belly. Jesus. I gotta wipe myself down.
All right. So in the chat, we had a question from the Twitch chat. Question from the Bananimal one: pineapple or sheep? You into the mutton?
Cotton feels great, and I'm more of a mango person. So yeah, sheep.
Sheep has wool.
Yeah,
Cotton's a plant. No, cotton's a plant.
Sheep, the same thing. Sheep's wool, cotton. I like wool in my coats, so I'm going with that.
All right.
Plus, I like mangoes better than pineapples.
All right, and from Young Allergy in the Twitch chat, if you
Achoo,
could go back
sorry.
in time and give one 1990s Arnold Schwarzenegger movie a sequel, what movie would it be and why?
Damn.
And then we'll get back to the Zoom questions in one
Oh
moment.
my God, that's not fair.
Why didn't I think of that question?
That's not fair.
I mean, I would think you would just make a spin-off of like a Turbo Man movie.
No, because they ruined that with the Larry the Cable Guy Jingle All the Way too.
Yeah, well.
Oh my God, that's
Ruined
that's,
Larry the Cable Guy. Yep, that seems legit.
You know what? Let's go with a Last Action Hero 2.
Okay.
Last Action Hero 2. With
All right.
With Arnold as the villain.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right. Let me. I'll go bottom up on these questions. So first one will be from the Rev.
Howdy.
If you would.
How's it going, man?
What's up, my dude?
I got like 2 questions for you.
Shoot.
So, first off, when I knock Kurt Polka out of the birdcage and somebody else gets his title, would you be interested in going after the Underworld title?
Yeah, I mean, I got the Tri-State. I defended it a bunch of times. I'm gonna hopefully win this Triad, so I'm gonna start checking off all the titles. Underworld's
Alrighty.
on that list.
All right. And second question, how do you feel when other people use your competitors?
I like it because it makes me feel like, my character is, at least worth the damn. Sometimes you see characters made and it doesn't get any use, but like it's cool when yours gets used by other people. And like I try to use other people's characters too. Like, I told Jigsaw I've been using his character and he's like, oh crap, that's awesome. So I like that. And it's cool when I'm in a tournament and I see other people using me. Kind of cool.
Cool.
And I'll cheers to that, Rev.
There's so much pickles, Jesus.
All right. And the next question will be the cannoli, Anthony Perry, or maybe Nanook. If Nanook is visiting, we'll find out.
He is also in here.
Yep. So we'll go to that one.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
You look great, bro.
TJ.
Yes. Where's your tree?
It's behind.
Yes!
Hashtag still standing. All right. TJ,
Yes.
give me your top 3 all-time favorite male wrestlers in no particular order, and your top 3 all-time favorite female wrestlers in no particular order. I know your wife's on the list, so that's already off.
I mean,
female, she's not that really good of a wrestler, so I can't pick her. She's all right.
Oh.
She's all right.
I mean, but still, it's your wife.
Yeah. The females, I really don't really like women's wrestling. I don't watch it enough, so I probably don't have a good list. But like, I think Mercedes Martinez is completely underrated. I know she's starting to get some play now, but I've known it since her JAPW days. She's amazing. I was always a huge mark of Sensational Sherry, so I got to put her on the list. And 3, I mean, let's go with. Damn, that's how you know. Trish Stratus, because I had a crush on her when I was in high school. So those 3. Male wrestlers, huge Jericho fan. Obviously, Kevin Nash, Diesel. And then, I'm going to go with Vader. I'm a huge Vader fan. I think he was criminally underutilized in WWF. Dude can do everything. He was believable. And yeah, Vader.
All right. Thanks, man.
Got it.
Thank you.
Later.
I'll cheers to that.
I have no pickles here. See?
I'm not looking at the pickles.
All right, you're good.
Pickles.
The color of your background is good enough, buddy. And we also got a question from Micah. That's also in here. If you want to, jump on stream real quick.
So TJ,
What's
let's
going
be
on? man?
honest. When will we get the Dill Defender by TJ Marconi and SRG? Come on, it's the Dill Defender, man. You know you got to make him.
Ooh.
I may actually commission that.
Oh God. That's nasty. Kosher sour dill. They can all go to you know what.
All right. Matt Haas
Ugh.
has a question. If you would like to pop in.
Oh, give me a minute. Ugh.
Well, probably take him a minute to get his stuff set up anyway.
Waiting for a hit TJ with a pickle spectacle.
Oh, cheers to that, Michael.
Oh,
Alright.
how you? I just saw him drinking the pickle juice.
A pickle from
is my signal in?
Yep. You're good,
Yep,
man.
you're on, buddy.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start off with a small one. Can you hurt yourself literally just from running the ropes?
Yes, the ropes.
Okay.
The ropes are most cases cable covered in a hose covering, and they can hurt. You know, you're hitting ropes, especially you don't have a lot of mass on your back or your side. When you're hitting it, you definitely get bruised, but you wind up getting calloused, and it becomes second nature. And then when they do break, you know, they're metal ropes. They can snap, especially the real ropes. They bend too much, you can fall out backwards. So, yeah. Hitting the ropes is if you don't know how to do it correctly, you can get hurt.
Okay. And second one is a little bit of a bigger question.
Shoot, bro, I'm here.
Obviously, the future is never guaranteed. But you've made the decision that as of right now, at the very least, you don't really have a desire to be in the ring anymore.
Yeah.
It was probably virus, freaking just the state of the industry,
Yeah.
or whatever. So if there was something specific that would have to convince you and make you say, you know what, I actually really miss this and I want to get back into the ring again, what would it have to be? Would it have to be like a change in the industry or something specific?
I mean, a combination of things. Probably my health, getting back to 100% health. I haven't really been healthy in probably over 2 years, 100% healthy. The wrestling is for fans, especially I know people say oh, it's still streamed, but the art of wrestling to me is still the theatrics when it's happening in person. You can't elicit responses over a computer screen as good as you can with a person sitting in the crowd. So me personally, I don't like the whole no fans thing. That's just me. If you guys have watched, I have not done a match with no fans in this time. I don't think it's wrestling was from a carny upbringing where it was come see the show, and there's no come seeing the show now. It's streaming and it's just moves, and I can't elicit a response from people through without them being there. So having fans come back, something interesting, the storyline or a feud, definitely get me back in. It's a goodbye for now. It's not a goodbye for good. Ric Flair's retired how many times? Terry Funk's retired how many times? And I'm a nobody indie wrestler. So me saying R.I.P. TJ Marconi is more of let me gather interest while I'm not wrestling and try to at least get a hook in with a cool angle story, and then when I do come back, I got something to do.
Exactly, because honestly, I think you've built at least somewhat of a legacy within the indie scene, and people respect you for it. Yeah. But there's other stuff I can ask in person. But last but not least, I wasn't even going to ask about the whole Kevin Owens thing, but since SmackDown is doing that whole virtual audience thing now, what if the Invisible Man were to go up on an episode of SmackDown, put up a sign saying "Should have kept TJ Marconi on SmackDown"?
Yeah, man. I'll dig that. I'll screenshot it and make that my background, bro.
Yeah. Because
I'm gonna hold up a sign with a pickle. It says "Should have kept TJ," and then next you know he's coming on SmackDown with a pickle suit.
I mean, anything is possible, man. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, you would have been a good addition.
Not a lot
I
of them,
think
not,
you could
not,
definitely compete with.
not a lot of them can talk, which is a art that is missing on all the like Impact AEW. No one can talk anymore. They do the cookie cutter mold, and they don't hook anymore. Like, I don't know, for me, like, no one's hooking through voice anymore. It's hooking through moves and not through emotion.
The problem that I'm having is, you know, me and my wife, which she just got back into wrestling when we first got together about 3 years ago. One thing that, you know, I've been around wrestling most of my life, watching it and stuff like that, and we're sitting in the living room and storylines are going on, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, Betty, watch this. This is gonna happen. And she's like, how do you know? And it's just that nothing is unpredictable anymore. No surprises, you know. It seems like it's all just, you know, just thrown in there, and it's the same thing over and over now.
If you look back to maybe, I know it's crazy to think about it. It's almost 20 years ago, right? It's about 20 years ago where Stone Cold comes back. He's telling The Rock that, like, I need to be champion. You know, like, and you believe that, like, he needs to be champion. Although if he doesn't win, he's like not going to be able to live. Now you just have matches. Like, I know, like, people go, oh, it's like you want to go back to the 80s. No, let's just go back to 2001. Austin comes back from the getting run over by Rikishi, and he wins he's got to win the Royal Rumble to become champion, and he's cutting promos to The Rock saying, like, yeah, you made my wife get hurt, but, like, I need to be champion. And you're sitting there, I mean, as a kid, I'm like, dude, if Austin doesn't win, what is he going to do? Like, is he going to be able to, like, and you believed him. Now it's just, you don't get that. I believe what this guy is saying. And if you want to go back further, like, when Jake the Snake Roberts would cut a promo, you believed every word he said. Now it's just, look at it. I mean, I could go on and on about that.
Probably, like, to be honest with you, with modern wrestling, I probably haven't even been shocked since probably the Shield broke up.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the last real, like, okay, this is happening. Didn't see this one coming.
I don't know. When it comes to talkers, I'm very partial to Eddie Kingston, but, you know.
Oh, Kingston is great on but he's never, even, I don't know what he's doing on AEW. I haven't watched, I will even say, I haven't really watched AEW except for one episode.
He kind of went viral because of his talking. Then that's how he got signed.
Eddie's always been great on the mic.
Yeah,
and hopefully they let him talk.
Which is mostly actually all he's been doing.
Good.
A couple matches, but mostly talk. Yeah, I mean, he's
that's one guy.
One guy, yeah. One guy to prove the exception to the rule that they can't talk anymore. And we have, speaking of a talker, we have RJ Bombshell who would like to ask a question.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, TJ, if you had to watch one match for the rest of your life, what match would it be?
Let's go with Austin versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13.
Wow. That's a good one. I could watch that too.
Go with that one. It has double turn, all aspects. I'll go with that.
All right. So, before we get back to the Zoom questions, we did have a couple questions from Twitch going back for a little bit. Let me... someone by the name of Italian Bombada asked, how long did it take you to remember to pass and bury? The person has...
Thank you, Evie Fresh. Thank you, Italian Bombada.
Yeah, so...
I'll cheers to that.
One viewer in the chat has been waiting a while for this question to be asked. Which, that is VHS 101, which Jericho gimmick do you think was the best?
Wow. Oh my God. That's not fair, Brian. That's not fair. I love the 2008 run where he kind of took off of the villain from No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men, yes.
He kind of took a little bit of him and then Nick Bockwinkel and made his heel character. That was awesome. But again, I'm partial to the Ayatollah Rock and Roller because I was a huge Jericho mark in WCW, and then he showed up on Raw and cut off The Rock.
Yeah.
Come on. So like it's a tie between those two. His heel persona and like I think it was 2008, right, or 2007, when he was walking around in suits and making you listen to his promos and talking with words that you had to look up in the dictionary. Like,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. Another question we had there was, are you upset that you never got the payoff to the angle with Brian Burgundy? That is also
Yes.
from a horse.
Yes. That would have been so to pull the bull back. I was brought into House of Glory to basically train as many of their students as possible how to put together a wrestling match. And the way to do that is for tag team wrestling because more people are in the match. I got tired of being a tag team wrestler there. You know, my best run there was with 2Click, my favorite tag partner with Josh Glide. The crowd wanted us to be champions. It was time for us to be champions, but we never were champions. Then they put me with Burgundy. I trained Burgundy of how to put together a match, and I helped all the younger guys. And then I was like, I want to break out of the tag division. I know I can do well in singles with guys like Smiley, with guys like Broadway, Gangone. I could. The singles division didn't have like storylines there. They would bring in a name, but if they had storylines, and I know I could talk my people into seats. If they gave me a storyline with Broadway, a storyline with Gangone, a storyline with Smiley, involving a mid-card title or the title, forget it. They would have had even more fans there. I was that confident in myself. And the payoff was the fake the retirement, take a little bit of time off, let Burgundy get his wins up, come back against Burgundy, and then move on to the main event scene. And then a change in booking committee happened, and they had no more room for students there. I wasn't a student of House of Glory. I was an outside talent. So it is what it is, man. I mean, that's one payoff I wish I had. The payoff would have been I would have came back after like maybe 3-4 months, had a feud with Burgundy, and then moved on to the main event scene.
All right. So the Phenomenal One had a question of who's the wrestler and SRG personality you'd like to give a size 16 boot to the most?
I mean, currently you got to be Bombada because he's champion. But Evie Fresh for not telling me to pass and bury. I'm just joking. Don't take it seriously. Cannoli for being Cannoli. I'm joking. Don't take it seriously. Probably I gotta pick Bombada. He's champ, right? Or John P because he wins all the time, or Pate because he wins with X-Rays all the time. You know?
Or Dustin because he's drinking pickle juice.
I'm not looking at the screen to see him drink a pickle, so I don't know.
Okay.
And Impact though.
Fair.
Bombada, you fear me, bro.
I mean, you get the pickle up on my sleeves.
I can't go after Polka. He's my tag team partner, man.
Oh yeah, one of them. Yeah. I know there's more on the way. All right, so we have another follow-up question from the mother-loving Bobby, Ohio.
The guy who's gonna lose to my boot.
Here we go.
Well, I don't know. I'm a big supporter of the belly over the boot. So.
How dare you, sir?
Big supporter of the belly over the boot.
Listen. I don't know. Bobby Ohio would have sat down. This is Lewis right now. I'm just talking about TJ Marconi.
Right.
I'm asking you
real. My man, what's up?
You want to go eat? What's good, bro? I miss you. I love you, bro. It's good. I miss you.
It's been a while.
But with your love for wrestling, you know what I mean, and how you feel about it, the passion you have for it. What was your worst match and why?
I actually have this written down because I do get this question a lot. I've had 3 matches in my career that I despise. Like, I'm like, there's no good quality of it. I hated it. My performance, my opponent's performance.
Like wrestling at melted ice cream. I mean,
yeah, no. Two of them involved the same wrestler. So, in no particular order, I've had 2 matches with Bull James.
All right, it does not take anywhere near as long to transfer the file to the hard drive.
Okay,
what happened? Twist. What happened?
Papa Twist.
I got cut off. So I've had 3 matches that I hate in my career. 2 of them involving Bull James. You know, maybe other people have had good matches with him. I haven't. I think he's a lazy wrestler.
Right.
I hated my matches with him. They were horrible. One of them was I got put into House of Hardcore, which is a bigger company, and I had an opportunity to show out. He didn't want to, you have to dance with your opponent. And when your opponent doesn't want to wrestle, you can't do anything about it. The third one in that trio was a match I had against a man called El Leon de la Palo. He was like in TNA for a hot minute. He's a big, roided up Puerto Rican wrestler. I had a match with him where he wanted to give me a back body drop as the first move of the match. I know he's on steroids and huge, but like I had him by 100 pounds and was about a foot taller than him. So I was like, it ain't happening. So when you're not agreeing with your guy, he's going to try to take liberties, which, I mean, I don't claim to be a tough guy, but like it ain't happening. So it was just basically a juvenile who's stronger than each other fight, and the match went to shit. Sorry for cursing.
Man.
We're fine. This is an SRG site, so profanity is okay.
But those are my three
worst
matches I've had.
Wow. Okay. No, Bobby, no. All right, I gotta go.
My man.
I take back what I said earlier, Rage versus Marconi. It's more like Bobbio versus Marconi. Who's going to win?
Bobbio.
How dare you?
Belly over the boots.
I didn't put you on a card. That was the boss.
Are you muted, Bobby?
Yeah, he's muted.
Because Bobby back here talking this smack, man. I need you to shut up and let me talk to this man. Yeah, we can't wait. We just can't wait. The belly boots match. Everybody need to get ready for that. That's going on the card. I don't care what they say. That's going to be the.
Just polish this.
Got it.
Just polish this off.
DJ, I'm about over with.
Oh, the pickle juice. Come on.
Oh man.
Got him.
Oh man, y'all.
Sorry, I made you look.
Nope, not looking. Looking right at the camera.
Looking at the hard cam. Look at the hard cam.
I'm a professional. All right. I know where the hard cam is.
So I like to ask this question because I hear a lot of people do this, and a lot of times when when you get your competitor, a lot of people post it or they'll talk about what it was like when you first got your competitor in this game. I ask you the same thing. What was your feeling?
The first one, kind of just like Steve would come to House of Glory and he's like, hey, you want to be in the game? I'm like, hell yeah, I'll be in the game. And I really didn't know the game, so like my first character was made. I was like, all right, my character's in the game, and I got a little bit of I got new merchandise to sell, and I didn't know much. I did a couple of appearances when I first came out, signed the autographs locally, but I didn't know anything. It was probably dope when my second one came out because I was all right, I'm going to Grand Gathering. I know how the game works. I know how to deck build now. It's like, this is cool. Like I can use this card and that card, and that probably the second character was more of like, wow, like this is really cool as opposed to the first one. And I wish that I was more active when the first one came out. And now that probably would have been like more ecstatic and more like happy, like a more, oh my God, I can use this card and that card, because I had that feeling with the second character that came out. It was just really cool seeing it. Like I didn't have any say. The only thing I was asked was, we're going to do something with your boot. And if you had to rank your in-ring with the stats, so it's like, what do you think is your best, your second, your third, your least? So like, I didn't know, the stats. I didn't know how the game works. So I just wrote, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably, my best is my power, then my striking, and then my agility. Like I said, I'm not really a technical wrestler, and I don't put many submission holds on. So I didn't know, the optimal stat line. I just like went based on how I wrestle, how I thought my wrestling ability was. So to see now how like my stat line is kind of good, and I and like my gimmick is there's a lot of cards that I work for. That part's cool.
And you're more agile than a lot of the small indie wrestlers.
Well, I actually am. Like that was always my thing. Even when I trained, like, you move too my trainer. I'm going to do his voice. So you move too goddamn quick for a big guy. What's wrong with you? Calm the hell down. Slow down. Like, you know, I was like, I'm agile for my size, and I can do things that I shouldn't be able to do. So even Steve goes like, damn. I'm like, yeah. Like everyone says, I'm agile for a big guy. So that's why my agility would be my third best quality, which was pretty cool.
All right. We have a horse asking another question. He would like you to tell the story of you spoiling your grand gathering appearance to him at a trivia contest.
All right, so I wasn't privy to all the people in the community. Steve is telling me, don't tell Chris that you're going to be at Grand Gathering. Mm-hmm. I thought he meant there's another Chris that hangs out, Chris Gardino or something his last name was. He's like a comedian. I think he was at Grand Gathering too. It's like, so I thought, don't tell him I was coming. So I always knew Chris Pagillo as being the guy who sold the stuff at Hog. So I thought he was Office. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, yeah, he's Office. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be in Ohio. I'll be in Kentucky with you. And then Steve's looking at me. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Maybe because, you know, I'm like, I'm not putting two and two together. And Pagillo's going, no, you're going to be at the event in Long Island. I go, no, I'm going to be in Kentucky. I got my itinerary right here. Like, Calais got me the tickets. And he goes, no. And then Steve goes, no, you're going to be in Long Island. I go, dude, I'm going to be in Kentucky. I got the tickets right here. What are you talking about? And then he goes, I said, don't tell Chris. I go, oh, that Chris.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of Chris's. He didn't say like, don't tell Horsehead. He's like, don't tell Chris. I thought he meant the other Chris that was always around.
I mean, extreme caution would have been like, no Chris.
I thought Pagillo was Office. Like, you know, I always thought, I always seen it was him, Calais, and Steve, and Sam. I was like, all right, they're Office. They know I'm coming.
See, that was cool at Grand Gathering too. Like I was talking about earlier, I've never met you before. I've seen your card and stuff like that. So when I forgot half my costume for entrance, so I'm having to run back downstairs as you're coming up the stairs. So you've got a smaller guy like me just running down the stairs, almost bumping into like an Empire State Building.
The worst part was I'm in my trench coat and I'm in a hallway that's 127 degrees. Yeah. And there's 80 people I have to wait for. I was dying in that hallway. Dying.
Yeah, I remember almost bumping into you. I think I said like, "Whoa!" And I looked up, and you go, "Shh."
3 Dustins. You're like 3 Dustins tall, so it had to be like a huge.
Dude, but I don't that hallway. I don't know if people are watching. Though, like I had to do my entrance that was away from the rail entrance, and I had to wait because there was 79 other people coming out, and they all had entrance music. Woo, that was hot. That was hot.
I am still expecting the Blue-Eyed Devil versus Devil's Reject, though.
Let's do it.
All right. So we have another question from the Bombshell, RJ Bombshell. Who would like to ask?
Hey, TJ, have you ever wrestled in Swanson or Rittner, the old ECW arena?
Yes, I've wrestled in the 2300 or whatever it's called now many times. As my Shakara character. Which was like, okay, but then I got to beat TJ Marconi in the ECW arena, and that was amazing. At my house on Brooklyn. I was TJ Marconi in the ECW arena, and it's definitely, the Philly fans are brutal, to say the least. But, you know, it was
I feel targeted.
It was a bucket list thing. No, you guys are brutal. Like, I don't know how Shakara started there, because like, I don't get it, because like
didn't actually start in Philly. It started in Hellertown outside.
But like they used to run in Philly a lot, and I can't imagine like that fan base really liking ice cream cones.
It's because we're passionate about wrestling and like in all of its forms.
You know,
and you know they had extremely talented wrestlers too, so that helps.
I'm happy I didn't wrestle Bull James in the ECW arena. My career would be over.
If Bobby O is wanting you to ask TJ this.
Bobby O is, where's the... Oh, okay.
In our...
Where his trench dresses? So where is your trench, Jess?
That's in my gear bag. Actually, no, it's actually hung up. my French.
With all these old Public Enemy cards, probably.
Pretty much.
I
wish I had my stack of Marconis. I don't know where they are. I had like 5 or 6.
All right. Practice Site says hi from the Twitch chat, and then Master Micah has a question. With the Rising Star tournament, what advice can you give to the Rising Stars as they go into the next round?
Ass and very. Also, I mean, I give away my sauce. When you're facing a guy in SRG, look at their bottom 2 stats. And whatever their bottom 2 stats are is what to attack with. I don't think a lot of people do that subconsciously, but I do. So, like, if you're 5 and 6 power and grapple, go at them with submissions. If you're 5 and 6 strike and agility, go at them with strikes. Because they can only stop so many.
That is very solid advice. Attack the weaknesses, not the strengths.
Yes. and don't also stops. Have 47 stops in your deck, and you will always win.
I don't know if that part's true, but
yeah, 47 stops.
47 stops. That is the exact. You know, I've helped run events, and I've seen that number of stops in deck lists before. So you know, but they're not usually the winners, so it's weird.
Yeah.
Mathematically speaking. All right. So we are getting close to 7:30, meaning that it's 7:29. So if we have some final questions from the chat, and it looks like Dustin has a question.
Shoot.
Brian Smith has got a question.
Oh. Yeah, but it's Schmidt. All right.
Smitty.
Har. Really, one question, and this is from a wrestling fan. Fantasy booking yourself. Who would you put yourself in the match with?
Anyone who can bump well for me. So independent level, Gangone.
Okay.
Look really good. On a WWE level, probably Ziggler. I don't watch AEW, so I don't know. I would just say, as I know them, LAX or Pride and Powerful. Let me wrestle them. And then on Impact, who's a good bumper in Impact? Probably a Cruiserweight. The don't know him. Yeah, Cruiserweight. Book me against little guys to make me look good.
Gotcha. There's one other question. Crap, I forgot it. I had it with me.
TikTok. No, I'm joking.
TikTok. By the way, I agree with you on Jericho, by the way. Yeah. So, if I think of it, I'll let you know. Oh, Canoli's got a question. Okay.
Oh.
If I think of it, I'll let you know.
Yep.
Later.
Later.
All right. If Nanook would like to ask his question.
Nanook? From Alaska?
Yes.
I thought I was the only one with split personalities.
Greetings, TJ.
What's up, Ewok?
How are you?
Sorry, TJ.
Got a couple questions.
That's like the little. Oh.
Have you ever wrestled a dragon?
No. I wrestled in front of the Ricky the Dragon, but I never wrestled the dragon.
Yes, wrestling a dragon is quite fun.
How do you know the American Dragon?
I haven't been on a show with him actually.
Yeah.
Oh, guess SmackDown.
Yes. What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal. I mean, I have a cat, so I have to go with a kitty.
Yeah.
I have a black cat.
Don't want to hurt the cat's feelings.
Cat.
No, my cat is very vicious.
Yeah.
What's your cat's name? May I ask?
Princess Leia.
Princess Leia.
Leia for sure.
Leia.
Hangs out with
Star
the
Trek.
rocks.
Oh, Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek. Great movie series.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah. Okay.
Trek. Wars.
A little question for this fella. Does Bill Early want his skin back? I'm just kidding.
I'm a lover of all animals. I don't hurt anything. I don't skin bears.
I don't think it's Bill
I don't
Early's.
kill whales. I don't do that. I fight dragons.
Because it's lone bear and cub, so it would have been mama bear that got skinned. If you look at it that way.
I don't.
Which
This
is
isn't
really mean.
This is. I mean, I got this from my cousin's brother's uncle's aunt. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys. And it's chilly, so you guys stay warm, all right? All right.
All right, buddy.
we have a couple more Twitch questions before I get back to one of the Zoom questions. So I know we. Well, first, before I get onto the longer one, Master Micah wants to know: do you like painful fries? And then we'll get on to the question after that one.
It's a you had to be there thing.
I was there. Yeah.
The fact. So, Hold the Line Harry has a very unique accent.
Yes.
I know people say I must have a Brooklyn one, but like the Philosopher, which is a new player in the SRG, was eating something on Zoom chat like we have going on here, and I'm not looking real quick, and all I hear is, "Are you eating something pain? You look like you're in pain," and you just see the Philosopher just
yes,
yeah, and he was muted.
Like he's muted, so you don't hear it, but he's just chewing, and he's like he wants to enjoy his food, but it's hurting him at the same time.
Yeah, I know. My question was like, why didn't you just stop eating? But
all I hear is, "Oh my God, that looks painful. What are you eating?" To find out it was fresh French fries that he was eating, so they were painful French fries.
Because he couldn't wait for them to cool down slightly. But hey, what can you do?
I was in tears left.
Yeah. The longer question from the chat, Twitch chat, is one that we've touched a little bit on earlier, and it's from the Babada. And what is the Ethan Page story?
Oh God. So kind of what I said earlier, when I did my heel turn at a company and the world turned on me, Ethan Page was a catalyst behind that. He shared the video and basically said, like, I need to burn my boots and I don't know what I'm doing and I need to retire. And then all Ethan Page's people that are friends with him or get booked by him and Alpha One started commenting and, yeah, TJ is blah, blah, blah. And so he was the catalyst of that. Everyone shit on TJ brigade that happened. So, yeah. And I never met the man. So hopefully meet you soon, Ethan.
All right. And the RJ Bombshell has a question again.
What was your favorite match at PAX when you went to PAX this year in Philly?
Oh,
PAX Unplugged.
In Philly.
Yeah.
Well, I won PAX East, so but in Philly, I had a really good match with a guy named RJ Bombshell.
Really? How'd you get a good match out of him?
It's a good match. I mean, I lost my title at PAX Unplugged, so it hurts my heart. I lost my my tri-state title there, and I never got a rematch. No, but that's all right. And then I won PAX East, and now I'm about to hopefully win the Triad title, and I can let people know that I'm not just a wrestler in SRG. I'm also an SRG good player in this game.
Yeah, we
so
all
I'm
know
playing against myself all the time.
We all know Hold the Line Harry's getting that Triad title, but
well, Snake Pits.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right. So
my competitors I hate in this game: Snake Pit, and OG Aerial.
Yep. So the last question we're going to take from Twitch is from the Phenomenal One. What's on your perfect pizza? Which I assume it's pickles and pineapples, and then some mutton.
I mean,
that way you get all the bases of SRG covered.
The best pizza you can get is pizza with just tomato, cheese, and the dough. That's the best pizza you can get. That's what you judge a pizza on. It's like, how can you make a good pizza as that? If I'm gonna go frisky, I'm a red onion, barbecue sauce, and chicken kind of guy. Like if I have to get like frisky in my pizza, I'm going that way. But pizza is meant to be cheese, sauce, dough.
I can't argue with that.
And Philly, your pizza's too damn big. Like every time I've gotten a slice down there, I know there's good pizza there is, but the ones I've had.
Where'd you go, Lorenzo's?
Yeah, it's like
that is like that one shop. Most places make normal. Yeah, just for people's references. I am a big guy, and our Lorenzo is like generally the length is about 18 inches long for a slice of pizza.
It's insanity. It's like a pie and a slice.
Yeah, it's like a 36-inch pie. Yeah,
like you're trying to eat the pizza. You're like this.
Yeah, but it's one of those.
I heard
places to go to.
I heard there's a really good spot like outside of Philly, like right outside of it. That's brick oven and it's good. So I mean,
Philly is filled with so many food places that and if you talk to anyone from Philly, they're gonna have a different answer based on the neighborhood they live in.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you described it, like oh yeah, that's Lorenzo's on South Street.
Every time I've had pizza in Philly, it's the giant slice for no reason.
Because it's probably late hours, most likely. Like after a show, and that's the one place that everyone goes to.
Like we're going to Lorenzo's, and it's like,
yep.
What am I eating?
Yeah. Well,
want half of this.
one day they might get you to again for people to know size purposes. One of the things they do there is there's a cheesesteak place called Jim's, which is pretty popular, and they'll take the cheesesteak and wrap it in a slice of pizza. Now
that's how much pizza is.
Yeah, cheesesteak is about 12 inches long. And you could wrap it in a full slice of pizza and have the cheesesteak covered by the pizza, and then they eat that.
It's basically a heart attack roll.
Yeah, it's called a Philly taco. But yeah, so yeah, no, definitely very gigantic slices of pizza. So if anyone has any other final questions in the Zoom room, or if Dustin can ask some final questions.
Speak now or forever hold your
forever
pickle.
Yes, like if you don't ask them now, you are never allowed to ask TJ ever a question again. All right, the mother loving Bobby O or his Lewis, whichever one has another question.
Nah, I just wanted to get on here because it was the last space, and I wanted to tell him for the last time that I'm ready. It's Bobby O now. I'm back.
I mean, you get whoever's in charge to make that deal, and we make it happen, Captain.
I'm waiting on you. We both waiting.
I ain't got no power here. Like people that go, you in crime wave. I ain't got no power here.
Yeah, I mean, like he couldn't even get the cannoli seal on one of his cards. I got it.
Come on,
it's on one of my cards, and I'm not even in crime wave. That just shows you where he's ranking.
I win. I get 0 title shots. I get 0 rematches. I ain't got no say. Shit.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to come together. Even though we're about to bang, we're going to come together and get this done. We stop a boot and a belly.
We're just gonna jump into a stream like, oh, yeah, no, this is done. We're having a match right now. What's up?
Let's take it. You kick him out the way and I'll pop him back.
I'm with it.
That's what's up. Remain blessed, man. Good show, brother.
Oh, man, thank you. Love.
All right.
Much love, Bobby.
Yep. If you got any final questions, Dustin?
I don't have any questions, but I have a final thought. I was going to tell you, you're a great asset in this community. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves pickles too. Glad that trend. And I'll give you a cheers.
There's going to be a pickles card. Watch. I know
it. Only with you on it, yeah.
But I love how you're active and everything. And I was also going to tell you, I told you before the show started, I am taking my talents to the North Beach. Expect me for Tri-State.
I'm with it. You got to go through Pete, though. Pete's really good.
So look for me in that picture.
That would make all of us technically in the Tri-State picture.
But I've enjoyed having you here, TJ. Like I said,
man.
Seemed like I play you in every tournament there is. But...
I know. It's like, oh, we got to put them together.
But it's always a pleasure, TJ.
Yep.
And,
yes, thank you.
Yes,
and
definitely.
you stay safe.
Yep, thank you for coming on.
Cheers. Of course.
Yep. All right. And,
cheers.
Do you have anything to plug before we get off? Probably. Other than I've been spamming your pro wrestling tees.
I have really
obviously I am. I mean, he might be like a dirty crime wave member, but
I have cool T-shirts.
He has cool T-shirts.
I have cool T-shirts.
Definitely should buy it.
There's no shows, so I mean, when shows happen, then just come see me wrestle.
All right. Well, thank you, and we will see you all. Thank you all for watching and coming in the Zoom room, and we will see you next week. Are you spoiling anyone for next week, Dustin? Before we sign off,
I'll go ahead and spoil. Next week, I've got he's the next on my list. And I got to see this guy start and which back then I was with KSW, and I've really seen him, put on a show. He's doing promos and stuff like that. And next week we're gonna have Pretty Boy Snow Keith Neves.
All right, it'll be great. All right, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you later, TJ.
Later, bros.